Just a few months ago, we saw Marvel announce New Warriors. Now, I'm sure a lot of you remember this. They took a group of pre-existing young adult superheroes and kicked them to the curb and turned the New Warriors into the dumbest characters you could ever imagine. I mean, seriously. We saw Safe Space and Snowflake, the non-binary duo. We saw the overweight Dora the Explorer with her magic backpack. We saw a character that could hack into the interwebs whenever he wanted. But now, ladies and gentlemen, DC has decided to go just as woke as Marvel did with their new Teen Justice characters, where the heroes are gender-flipped versions of previous characters, or they're gender-fluid characters that use they-them pronouns. My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined, which has just kind of been 2020 in a nutshell. So I am going to be referencing a Bounding Into Comics article. DC Comics reveals first look at new non-binary Flash and Justice League characters, plus gender-flipped Teen Justice members. Anyway, continuing on with the article, DC Comics revealed a first look at their upcoming new non-binary Flash character named Jess Chambers, aka Kid Quick. As reported by Screen Rant, the character is non-binary and uses they-them pronouns. So Screen Rant's Liam McGuire writes the character is gender fluid or non-binary and uses they-them pronouns. Now this is very similar artwork to the New Warriors. Obviously, when they're announcing characters and they're first showing them off, they're not going to have the full done designs of them, but this is one of the first sketches that we're seeing of these characters, and they're definitely not that impressive. I'm not trying to dunk on this artist at all, but if you're going to be announcing characters you have a lot of faith in, maybe do them a little bit more justice with their artwork. So as you can see, this art isn't the worst we've ever seen for character announcements. But as you're going to see, as we progress through these screenshots, they all look so angry. They all look like they want to talk to your manager. None of these characters are happy. You would think that maybe, I don't know, they're teen characters and they just found out that they're superheroes, or they're experiencing really being a team of superheroes for the first time, that they'd maybe be excited about that, but apparently not. They all just are very angry, very lonely characters. Pretty depressing, in my opinion. Anyway, continuing on with the article, Cohen described the team to Screen Rant. Teen Justice is a new super team on Earth 11, the world where there's a Justice Guild instead of a Justice League, and the heroes are gender-flipped versions of the heroes of the traditional DC Earth. And while a lot of E11's history is fairly straightforward reflections of the mainstream DCU, things are different enough that Teen Justice may in fact be the first kid hero team in that world, so their mentors have no experience in how to deal with the dynamics of their sidekicks and proteges, setting out as their own independent team. They literally admit here, Mr. Cohen does, that most of E11's history is fairly straightforward, yet they're going in and changing it to their own creations. They're saying, what can we do to shake up this history, this very straightforward history? As he says, and they're just going in and changing whatever they want. Now here is another very Karen-looking character, Supergirl. How is this a cool-looking character? I mean, seriously, the top looks kind of cool, but she just looks so freaking mediocre. She's got like this random scarf/cape thing going on. She's got torn pants, and she's got high-top shoes on. How does this look good at all? And of course, the character designs make her look angry. But Cohen went on with the membership of Teen Justice includes Aquagirl, Supergirl, and Robin, who all only seem familiar. Aquagirl is this world's respective Aqualad, and Supergirl and Robin are the children of Superwoman and Batwoman respectively. So let's go into the rest of the character designs. Here's Clarine. I guess she doesn't look awful, she just looks very mediocre. And then we have, of course, Donald Troy, but I want to read Cohen's statement here. As for the actual story, Cohen explained, a New Year's celebration, alien starfish, which are a beloved tradition for super team debuts, mind-controlled heroes fighting their sidekicks, and a super team origin origin story that has no need for any pre-existing knowledge of the multiverse or appearances by the Justice Guild, and a few unexpected gender-flipped cameos for old-school DC diehards. Now, making new characters is great, but let's not repurpose them and twist their identities. Just make new characters and don't overdo it with the amount of them that you make. Create a balance with your representation. And he goes on to say a few unexpected gender-flipped cameos for old-school DC diehards. See, this is the problem. Old-school DC diehards don't want to see gender-flipped cameos of their old-school characters. Let's look at Robin. This is so disappointing, in my opinion. This is what they've done with Robin. I guess that the design overall doesn't look the worst, but they're taking these characters and repurposing them, doing whatever the hell they want with them, because they say, it's in another universe. It doesn't matter. We can do whatever we want with them. These companies like Marvel and DC have no clue what real comic fans want. They've got no fucking clue how to sell their books anymore. I mean, seriously, who is going to buy this series? There are no unicorn consumers out there who want this. We know that the woke crowds demand things like this and don't actually show up to purchase them on launch day. And okay, so look, there are two really big problems here. First of all, this type of content like superheroes and comic books and science fiction in general doesn't appeal to these types of audiences. And secondly, these companies are grossly overestimating the size of these audiences. Even if these audiences in totality showed up on launch day and had their wallets out, it's not that many people. So instead of going for what we call normies or superhero buffs, they're burning their bridges with real fans that literally just want the same old, who are happy with seeing Batman fighting the Joker and Superman and Wonder Woman simply kicking ass. There are very few new comic book readers, and it's an unfortunate fact that we all have to face. As a comic book fan myself, I don't want the industry to die, but there are not a lot of new people who are looking at this industry and going, wow, I want to be a part of this too. So they need to appeal to the audiences that they have. Most of the existing fans are not this demographic that they're trying to reach with these types of stories, so they might as well keep pushing products to their real fans who are actually wanting their products. These attempts of making everything woke to appeal to a new audience doesn't work because that audience doesn't exist, and we clearly see that with how bad the industry is doing. He really thinks that a few unexpected gender-flipped cameos for old-school DC diehards are going to bring in the old-school DC diehard. Now, if you're an old-school DC diehard, let me ask you, is this gender-flipped or gender-fluid Robin really going to get you to purchase a new comic book? So that's all that we really know about the new gender-flipped Teen Justice members and them butchering pre-existing characters. And I feel like I'm a broken record because I have to constantly repeat the same points over and over when something like this happens. But these companies keep repeating the same mistakes over and over, and it might seem like I'm grifting a little bit, but that's not what I'm doing. I am just trying to tell you all the reality, because over the past few years, companies like DC and Marvel have been making this same mistakes over and over, and they're not actually listening to their real fans who are willing to give them money. Why do you not just take our money for good damn products? So you're going to see someone like me calling it out over and over until it's changed or gone. And from where I'm sitting, gone looks like where it's headed. But that's all that I had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like and share it. And of course, if you did not, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.